Thanks for listening to the third in our collection of special Deepdale Festival podcasts in 2024. I'm Jason and your host for this episode. I chat with Kathryn Williams and Dan Willson, aka Withered Hand, who perform on Friday, with Polly Paulusma, who performs on Sunday, and with Jess Silk, who also performs on Sunday. Kathryn and Dan are a relatively new collaboration, two superb musicians who have loved creating together. They recorded their album in Edinburgh, and Dan is wandering those streets while he chats to Jason. The album is now live in the world, and they're set at Deepdale Festival as part of their busy autumn schedule. Polly, who has also joined Jason on the Deepdale podcast previously, has just reached a huge milestone with fundraising to develop a triple vinyl album. Jess joins Jason from the Black Country, chatting about how the Jess Silk trio came about, her writing process, and her love of playing at festivals. Thank you to all of them for allowing us to play a sample of their music. From Kathryn Williams and Withered Hand we play Weekend. From Polly Paulusma we play Wildfires. And from Jess Silk we play There's a Bar at the End of the World. Enjoy this episode and look out for future episodes which will release shortly. I'm chatting to two very lovely people. Kathryn Williams, who I think Chris has described as the mascot of Deepdale Festival, because this is going to be her third year coming, which is just brilliant. And then also Dan, who is her relatively new collaborator, aka Withered Hand. They've put together the most beautiful album and are both going to be performing together on Friday at Deepdale Festival, and we are very excited. Welcome to Deepdale Podcast, both of you. Thank you for joining me.
Oh,
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I'm loving the art behind Kathryn's head, and I'm loving the blue skies behind Dan's. So all in all, it's a great view.
Yeah, colour coordination. Yeah.
So how did you guys meet? How did this collaboration happen?
Dan's out and about in sunny Edinburgh. We can see him with his earphones on, and it's like kind of watching some strange YouTuber who's about to jump off a building or something.
In a canal.
Oh yeah, into the canal. We met. We've got a lot of mutual friends who have both said to us, we should meet each other, and we never did. And then I think I'd sent you a tweet saying, I wonder what songs we could write together. And then I got scared and deleted it.
Yeah, which caused a lot of consternation at this end.
But we ended up meeting together, having never met before, and writing, and it went well. And then we just kept on doing it, and lockdown happened, and we stayed in touch and kept on writing, with no plan for it to be a record together. We thought like maybe songs for Dan or songs for me or songs for someone else.
Yeah.
And then quickly became like, it felt like this was an important record we should put out together.
I think last time we chatted on the podcast, Kathryn, you'd been recording in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And so was that with Dan? Or was that this album?
Yeah, that was this album.
Right. Got you. And so Dan, is Edinburgh home for you then?
Yeah, it's been home for nearly 30 years now, yeah.
So,
it's a good place. I like it very much. And it's been very kind to me in terms of my musical journey. It's been a good place for me to be.
So what can people expect from your collaboration? What do either of you feel it brings that the other one didn't necessarily have by yourselves?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm waiting for Dan to answer this first, and then I'll jump in.
Well, it's definitely got something that I hear in the songs that is, I think when I hear it, it's got a sort of sweetness and a bit, it's got a kind of like sweet and sour. It's got like it's got a complexity of sort of emotional tone that I might not have just had on my own, and vice versa. Like it's like a marriage of sensibilities. And I think I enjoy listening to those songs maybe more pleasurable because it's not just all of one of us, like it's like I can listen to Kath's songs and enjoy them, and I can listen to the songs that we wrote together and enjoy them in a way that I maybe can't necessarily enjoy my own work. And maybe it's similar with Kath. I don't know.
The nice thing is that the whole album came as a like byproduct from the conversations and the friendship that we built, which is like quite a lot of years of working together, getting to know each other, and the songs all came from conversations about like heavy stuff and light stuff. And so the subject matter's kind of, sometimes it's about people who have died, who we cared about. Sometimes it's about not really belonging to like nights out or feeling like we don't quite fit in or whatever. But the nice thing about it is, instead of it feeling heavy, I think the whole record's got a kind of, it's kind of like a warm hug, and it's got like gentle uplifting feeling. Even though some of the subject matter's sad, it's got like a sort of like a sunshiny, jolly feel to it. And people like the festival the other day, people were sort of really up from it. You could feel like it had a real uplifting feel.
That's really lovely. So when did the record come out?
April, is it? Kath?
Yeah, came out April. Yeah, we had like 4 singles before that, each month before, and then it came out in April. And then we toured the whole of May. And that was amazing because like pretty much all of the gigs were sold out and packed, and it was such a like gorgeous feeling to have it received so well.
Yeah. And are you guys planning on more albums together?
We've spoken about it a little bit on tour, haven't we?
Yeah, and we've started writing. We've written a couple of songs together, just because, when you're in the car for the whole of a tour and there's 2 songwriters and you see funny things, you can't not write a song about it.
If there's no massive pressure on you guys to write together, then actually it's probably going to be easier.
Yeah, well, they talk about a difficult second album and that. But I mean, Dan's going in the studio for his next solo album. He's going to Northern Ireland for that in the autumn. And I've just finished my next solo album. So there'll be a little hiatus before we get back together. But I mean, I'd kind of like to make another record just because I get to hang out with like my pal.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That sounds like as good a reason as any, doesn't it, really?
Yeah,
it was really good. It was a really good experience together, right? Working on the album, particularly as when we first started writing the songs, we hadn't really thought that we were going to perform them and record an album together. So it was all a big bonus, really.
Yeah. And Dan, I have to ask, where did the name Withered Hand come from?
Well, I thought it was kind of a joke when I was just starting to play shows out, just me and my guitar, and I thought it sounded like a metal band. But it's kind of stuck around, so I think that's where it came from. I'm now aware that it's got like a scriptural references, which might be just rattling around in my mind from growing up, but that wasn't intentional.
Separately or together, got any more gigs before you play at Deepdale in September?
I think we've got like a run. I think Deepdale's going to be part of a run of dates that we've got through September, October. And then we're planning on doing a Highlands and Islands tour up in Scotland.
Nice.
Yeah. Not too early though, because I don't quite fancy a snowplow.
You could get that bus from Where Eagles Dare, the one with the snowplow on it, and kind of that could be your tour bus.
We'd need that.
Good.
We would need it. And then it would go into the water and turn into a boat as well. Yeah. Like the 007 tour.
Yeah, it'd be great. You could kind of bring all these things together, all these references together. It'd be great. Well, we're really, really looking forward to having you play at Deepdale. It'll be really lovely. Kathryn, you haven't played the Orchard stage yet, have you? I think you've seen artists there, but you haven't played there yourself.
Yeah, I've only played Barn stage, so
yes.
know what it's going to be like. It's great.
Oh, it's just lovely. It's just, and you two together will just be great. And Dan, we're really looking forward to your first visit.
Oh,
I'm
thanks.
really looking forward to you playing there.
I've heard only good things.
Well, I'm
from
assuming
Kath.
she quite likes it. She's coming back for more.
It's great, Dan. You'll love it.
For anybody who's coming to Deepdale Festival, or anybody who's thinking about coming to Deepdale Festival, these two lovely people are going to be playing on the Orchard stage on Friday of the festival, which is the 27th of September, and we are really looking forward to them. Along with them that day is Track Dogs, Bonfire Radicals, Christina Alden and Alex Patterson, Wensum, Elizabeth and Jameson, Ross Stewart, Sakash, The Larks, and Toast Poetry. So there's going to be plenty of great music. Chris tells me that he's got other things lined up as well, other artists coming. It'll be a fantastic day of wonderful, wonderful music. Are you guys staying, or are you heading straight off somewhere afterwards?
Yeah, I think we've got a gig the next day, so we'll be in the tour bus with the snowplow, ready to get to the next gig.
Well, fingers crossed it'll be sunny, not snowy in September after the wet spring. Let's hope that September is a beautiful sunny one. The Orchard is a particularly lovely place when it's sunny, and everybody can just, they nest and then just expect wonderful music, which we know you guys will give us. Thank you so much, both of you.
Oh,
Thanks,
great.
Jason.
Thank you. Thanks, Jason. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Kept my coat on, said the music was too loud. And when the lights went up, I saw a sea of faces shouting, singing out for more.
I wanted to be part of the world. I kept my collar up, didn't realize I was proud. When the lights went up, I saw all the nights I wasted trying to feel more.
To feel alright.
I am chatting to one of the loveliest people in the music industry, Polly Paulusma. Polly is playing for us on Sunday at the festival, and we are really looking forward to it. It's your first time on the Orchard, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think last year you opened the festival. You were on the Brick Barn stage.
I opened for Kathryn because she came on afterwards with her band.
And then you joined her on stage for a couple of songs as well.
I tinkled the ivories once or twice, yeah. Yeah, so it'll be my first time in the Orchard.
And of course you played at the Hooger.
Yes.
And you've been developing since kind of the last festival and then the Hooger, and then now you're kind of developing your ideas, and you have just reached a very exciting milestone with your triple vinyl album that you're going to be producing. You've been doing a crowdfunder, is that right? And you've
Yes.
reached your target.
Yes, so it's going to happen, which is great. So when I first came to play, I was on my way to the recording studio where we recorded the record. This was last autumn. And then when I saw you in the spring, the album was pretty much finished, but I had one more session to do with the producer chap, Ethan Johns, who I was working with. And we finished it very soon after that in April. And I delivered it to the label, and something surprising happened during the making of the record. I'd written all these songs, and I normally write far too many songs for a record. I might write 40 or something, and then I pick the best 10. But I gave this bag of like 22 songs to Ethan when we began discussing the record, and he could see a story running through all of them, and he wanted to record. He didn't quite want to record all of them, but he wanted to record 20 of them. Actually, he dropped one, I dropped one. And when we were in the studio, one just didn't work. So we ended up with 19, but it is a phenomenally long record. And I kept trying to edit it down, but it's not the way it wanted to be. It just wanted to be this big, long thing. So when I delivered it to the label, it became quite apparent that although other records that I've put out with them have been on CD and on vinyl, that vinyl was going to be completely unworkable because it was too long. And I was devastated, Jason. It was awful. Because I'm un certain age, yeah, vinyl is like, it's the thing that makes it real for me. And I also just think it sounds better, but I think people are, the jury's out on that, but I genuinely do. But I also think there's something about the act of putting on a record.
Yeah, something quite nice about
concentrate. Like, I just think it's so easy to be a bit chewing gum about music these days. It's all just going on in the background while I'm doing 6 other things. But there's something about the ritual of putting an album on that helps people focus. And this record, really, it's a bit of a meditation, and it kind of needs that. It's a bit like a movie for your ears. And so I just felt like vinyl was going to be really important. And so when the label said they couldn't do it, I said, huh? How much can't you do it? And and then I went to the masses, and the masses have been unbelievably generous. And so we managed to raise enough money in a month to be able to hit the green light on the vinyl once more. So this ridiculous triple vinyl, which is unbelievably indulgent, but seriously wonderful for me, will come out, and everything will come out in March next year. It's taken a long time because it's almost like this kind of tanker. It's got a 12-mile turning radius, but it's worth it. I'm really glad. We could have come out in the autumn, but I sort of said, can we wait and just let me see if I can get the vinyl together? And I'm really glad that the generosity of it's over 70 people put in to make it happen.
Now it's going to happen. Are you going to take pre-orders for the vinyl at the festival?
Yes, the pre-order page will be up before then, I think. I've been working with the designer. The artwork's all coming together. It's hilarious. I'm so happy. So yeah, I think the label are keen to have a pre-order page up really soon. It's been mastered at Abbey Road, but they need to do all the factory stuff that goes on to make a vinyl. It's all very well at being 1 disc, but for 3, it's insane. Like,
the cover alone has got to kind of be a work of engineering genius, hasn't it?
I hadn't even thought about the weight of posting these things. So that's in triplicate as well, because it's heavy. So if someone in Japan wants it, it costs 25, got to take out a small mortgage just to post it. So the whole thing it's just completely nonsense. On a practical level, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah, but art is not supposed to be practical.
Yes, exactly. There's a strange joyful fireworky kind of joy that comes when you're making things, and I feel it when I write a song, and I feel it when I open up a box of CDs or vinyl for the first time. When you first hold the thing that you've made, there's just this fireworky joy, and you can't really explain it, but it's just this longing for it to get out. Like, you just want it to. It's almost like a DNA, it's sort of primal. And it doesn't really have anything to do with money at all. It's to do with spreading seed. Like, you just want, like a piñata, you just want to go off and share what's come to you.
Well, we are really, really looking forward to you playing again. It'll be fantastic. And I think you'll suit the Orchard stage beautifully. It'll work really, really well. Won't be able to hear a pin drop while you're singing away, apart from maybe a few pints being poured at the back of the Orchard field.
I hope so. One of them's for me.
Are you managing to see any other act while you're with us?
My brain is not. I can't believe you're even discussing that.
Okay. Sorry, it's way too far
next
ahead.
Week, maybe. But I'm sure I'll try. I don't know what's going to be going on at that point. We'll have to just see. I hope so. I did this on my last record. I really got into filmmaking, like making little videos, and I actually ended up making a video for every song on the last record. And I'm sort of doing the same thing now, and it's much longer, obviously. So I'll be probably making lots and lots of films.
So your YouTube account's going to be nicely busy.
Yeah, my intention is actually to have just 2 big films. Like the album is very long; it's 2 hours long, but it's broken into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So it's another way of trying to encourage people to listen to it. You see, the worry about the vinyl is all part of the same obsession I've got, which is trying to allow people the chance just to shut their phone off and just, enjoy it in a block. And it's so hard. People just find it so hard these days, and I don't understand why, because we sit down and watch a box set without any, you'll binge 4 episodes of something in a row, so we can do it. It's just that people need a bit of encouragement, I think, with music these days.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to make 2 1-hour films where the songs just run. So you can put it on at the beginning and just listen to the whole thing.
I remember I got introduced to All Across the Watchtower, that album, by friends at school, and they would make us in their study. They got us to lie on the floor, close the curtains, switch the lights off, and put the album on.
Yeah.
And yeah, the different way that you appreciate those guitar riffs when you are not doing anything else, and the only senses really that are working are your ears, is just amazing. So maybe maybe you need to do a kind of, on the album sleeve, it needs to have, you know, a guide to listening to this album.
Lighted incense stick.
Yeah.
Shut the curtains. Exactly. That's a really good idea, actually. We're just finalising it at the moment.
There we go. Well, you've got lots of sides of this thing now, so you can, that gives you an option to fill one up, doesn't it?
Space, yeah.
Well, we are so looking forward to seeing you. We will see you for some or all of the festival, depending on your schedule and your busyness.
I'll stay for as much as I can, because it's always wonderful.
Lovely to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And when I'm in a cathedral, I feel it all. I'm floating up in space. And it's a ceiling of dreams. I never want to wake.
I am chatting to Jess Silk, and she is playing at Deepdale Festival as the Jess Silk Trio, joined by 2 other members of her band, and she is playing on Sunday on the Courtyard stage. It's going to be fantastic to welcome Jess. At least one member of her band have played at Deepdale previously in a different guise, but we're really looking forward to you playing. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, Jess.
That's all good. Well, thank you for the invitation. It's good to be here.
So where are you based at the moment?
I'm based in the Black Country, a little place called Kingswinford. And as you can see, I'm up in my loft currently. But yeah, I travel about all over the country playing shows, and I'm trying to get a bit further afield. And it's going to be my first time at Deepdale, so really looking forward to it.
Oh, we're really looking forward to you playing. It'll be great. What sort of music is the Jess Silk Trio? How would you describe your music?
I mean, it's all stuff that I've written, and it kind of fell together accidentally because me, you, and Matty play a lot of different festivals together. They jump up on stage with anybody. They're awful.
They're complete music tarts, are they?
Yeah, absolutely. No, they love it. Yeah, so it just kind of happened accidentally, the trio kind of thing. And I'm terrible coming up with band names, so it's just the Jess Silk Trio. I might name it properly at some point.
It says exactly what it is on the tin. Yeah.
I kind of bill myself as folk punk. It's definitely folk music. It tells a story, but it's got a punk attitude.
We like that. Have you been writing music for a long time? Is it just something that you just naturally did?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always been music on in the house. Dad will play it really, really loud, so you've got no other choice as to listen to it. And that was from when I was a kid. I think I wrote my first song when I was about 10 or 11, and it was awful, so we don't talk about that anymore. But since I was about 14, 15, I've been writing, and there are a couple that I wrote around that period that I do still play and don't cringe too much at. But yeah, that's kind of where it started when I was a teenager.
You were just saying you were just at a festival this weekend. Have you played a few festivals this summer?
Yes, I think this year in total I've got, I think it's about 21, 22.
Right. Yeah, that's quite a busy little schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been mental, but it's good because I love it. It's a bit knackering, but yeah, it's all fun.
Have you played in Norfolk before?
I haven't. I think the closest I've got so far to Norfolk is Stamford, which isn't particularly close, but yeah, so new
it's on the
part
doorstep.
of the country for me. So good.
Well, we're really looking forward to you playing. Have you got an album, EP, or anything like that out so that people want to kind of catch up with your music before they see you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of albums, a couple of studio albums, a couple of live ones, EPs, and they're all on my Bandcamp page. You can find a link. Where is it? My website, jesssilk.co.uk. everything should be there if people want to check it out, all on Spotify and all of that nonsense.
So you a multi-instrumentalist, or are you kind of purist guitar and singer?
On stage, guitar and singer. Well, I don't know if you see, I've just got the keyboard out behind me, which I can't really play, but I really enjoy playing it. So that's come out this morning. But yeah, pretty much stick to what I know, guitar and singing.
And are you self-taught guitarist, or was it something you picked up over the years?
I had lessons at school, but it was always they're trying to teach you, get you to do your grades and get you to play the melody on guitar. I've never really been that good at guitar. It's just been something to accompany my voice. So I kind of got to about 14, 15. I was like, there's not really any point in me having lessons anymore, because I'm not going anywhere with the guitar, so I'll just focus on my songwriting.
When you write, what comes first, the melody or the words?
Usually the words, or at least if I've got a line like for a chorus or something, and then I'll put the melody to it, and then it'll kind of happen in tandem. I'm all about the words rather than anything else.
And when you play with other people, and like the Jess Silk trio, do you have a very clear idea of how a song is going to sound when it's kind of with multiple people, or would you get together as a practice room with a kind of with an idea, and then it sort of develops from there?
I don't think we've ever actually had a proper rehearsal.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay.
I mean, you'll try things and maybe something won't work, but I pretty much just leave it to Matty and you and to just jump in and play, and they're very good at that. They do it a lot, so it's great. But yeah, I don't think we've ever maybe had a quick run through before shows, but I don't know, maybe if we did have a rehearsal it'd sound a bit tighter, but I like doing it that way. It's just fun.
It's the life on the stage and the entertainment and the love of the music, I think, that matters so much more.
Absolutely. I mean, we all do it because we love it, and that's what it's all about, isn't it, I think.
We're really looking forward to seeing you at the Deepdale Festival. It'll be lovely to welcome you to Norfolk for the first time and to Deepdale for the first time. If you want to know any more about Jess, she is playing on Sunday at the Deepdale Festival on the Courtyard stage. We've got lots of info about her on our website, links to her web pages and her Bandcamp and all of that sort of stuff. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in a few weeks' time.
I know, that's crept around quickly, hasn't it? No, I'm
really
looking forward to it.
Like, when I started recording these podcasts, it sort of all felt quite a few months away, and now it's feeling very close. Thanks very much, Jess.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
There's a bar at the end of the world where we'll meet when it's over. There's a light at the end of the tunnel you're heading towards. Know that every week past means that you are another week closer to when you'll sing and you'll dance and you'll laugh and you'll smile like before. For now that door's been closed and you're left all alone with your feelings. You've got time to get back on track, but you've never known how. I can offer a song if it helps in the fight with your demons. Well, I know it's not much, but it's all that I'm good for right now. And if you just hold on, then I'll try and help figure it out. With the same 4 chords and this knackered guitar, with the pints in my hand and a seat at the bar, I'll be waiting when you get there. With the
Thank you so much for listening to the third episode of the Deepdale Festival Podcast 2024. More episodes are currently being recorded and edited and will be released shortly. If you'd like to know more about artists performing at Deepdale Festival 2024, please take a look at the website deepdalefestival.co.uk. Hope we'll see you in September for amazing live music.